Hello all, we are going to discuss about e-commerce and we are going to cover all the units as an overview which will help you for your semester exam. So we are going to have a simple overview on e-commerce and all the units coming under your syllabus. So firstly, before going deep into the discussions, I would like to brush up all the things what we have learned in e-commerce. So e-commerce is also known as electronic commerce or internet commerce, as you know, which is referring to something like buying and selling of goods or services using the internet and the transfer of money and data to execute these transactions. So you're buying or selling some goods over internet, and also the payment and transactions are also happening through internet. Then that particular activity is known as e-commerce or e-trading. Okay, so why are we using e-commerce in today's world is that it is very low entry cost rather than you physically go enter into a market for buying and selling, and it also is having an advantage of reducing the transaction cost, and also it has a wide access to the global markets. Okay, and then as you know, it always have a secure market share. So e-commerce is basically like the transfer or the buying or the transaction of goods and services over internet, and also the payments or that transfer of money which is also done through internet. So we will see each units and the important topics which are covered under those units in this video. So let's get started with the video. So Unit 1. Under Unit 1, it is very important to know about the history of e-commerce and the types of e-commerce, and also there is yet another important topic which is components of eyewear. So if you are clear with these three topics, then you can crack any questions which is coming from this unit. So you will be easily earning your 5 and 8 marks when it comes in way of semester exams. So as I told you, we will see a small introduction, and then we will see the types of e-commerce and also discuss or brush up the components of eyewear. So the introduction. So as I told you, it's commonly known as electronic marketing, and it consists of buying and selling goods and services over an electronic system such as the internet or other computer networks. So please remember that it is always a buying and selling of goods and services over a network. So e-commerce is a purchasing, selling and exchanging goods and services over computer networks or internet, through which the transaction on terms of sale are performed electronically. So when the terms of sale are performed electronically, then that is basically or normally called as an electronic commerce. So as I told you, the next topic which is very important in e-commerce is about the types of e-commerce. So it is very common to you to know the different types of e-commerce, that are B2B, B2C, B2E and C2C. So what do you mean by B2B or business to business e-commerce? It means the business transactions are taking place between two business houses online. So then if it is happening so, then it is known as a business to business e-commerce. And this model defines that the buyers and sellers are two different entities or organizations, and it is more similarly when you match the scenario, it is like the manufacturer is issuing the goods to a retailer or a wholesaler. So if I would state an example of B2B, it is example you can state it as Walmart, which is a very big company which issues goods to other retailers and wholesalers through online. And when it comes to the second case, which is B2C, it is business transaction taking place between business and consumer. So the basic concept of this model is to sell the product online to the consumers, and it also provides direct selling through online to the consumer. So if I would state an example, it is McDonald's. When it comes to B2E transaction, it is business to employee e-commerce, which means electronic commerce uses an intra-business network which allows companies to provide products or services to their employees. So when a company is allowing the network to buy and sell or to transact between or within employees, then it is known as business to employee classification or e-commerce. And lastly, it is consumer to consumer e-commerce. That means it is a market which provides an opportunity between, that is the opportunity to the customers to interact with each other. So it involves electronically facilitated transactions between consumers through some third party. So example, if I would say, it is like eBay, auction services also are some of the kind of examples coming under this type of e-commerce. So it is a very important question and frequently asked question about the types of e-commerce. So in unit 1 you're supposed to learn this very importantly and without missing it or skipping it. And the next thing which is coming under first unit is the components of eyewear. So I have attached a very brief framework of components of eyewear. So it is simply information superhighway is a high-speed global communication network that can carry data, voice, video or other services around the world using technologies such as satellite, optical fiber and cellular telecommunications. So the basic idea which is coming under information superhighway is to transfer data or information from one party or from one place to the other through some networks and some some technologies like satellite and optical fiber telecommunications, etc. So in order to understand eyewear, you should understand the main or basic components of eyewear. So the main or basic components of eyewear are the network access equipments, local on-ramps and global information distribution network. So what is network access equipment? So in order to connect to a network, there are certain access equipments which is very importantly or which is very essential in today's scenario. So what are those kind of network access equipment? Some of the examples of such network access equipments are a hub, a router or a wireless access point or a bridge or a gateway. So some of the examples of such equipments are these. So it is something which will help the network or help a particular thing to get connected to another network. Okay, and secondly it comes to like local on-ramps. So what do you mean by local on-ramps? Like telephone based infrastructure is there, like how you link between the businesses or how you link between two networks. So with the help of these local ramps only, you will always get linked with one network and other network. So some of the basic local on ramps are telephone based infrastructure which will get connected through optic fiber, cable TV based infrastructure, or wireless infrastructure through Wi-Fi or commercial online infrastructure. So this is also very important for a network to get connected to another network for a easy passage of information. And lastly, it is global information distribution network. It is for the development of new communication technologies and continued employment of fiber optic facilities. It resulted in this global information distribution network, and that is why it is known as backbone communication and satellite network. So in order to get it connected globally, it is very important to get it connected with other networks like satellites or telecommunication. So as I told you, these are some of the basic components of eyewear. So this is the third important topic which is coming under Unit 1, and apart from this you should always be thorough with the internet terminologies which are most commonly used in today's scenario. Okay, so as I told you, some of the commonly seen internet terminologies are DNS or like domain naming system, web server, web page, and so on. So with this we have completed discussion on Unit 1. Now let us move towards Unit 2. So Unit 2 is completely dealing with EDI, which means Electronic Data Interchange. So we are going to have a small overview of EDI and also discuss about the main features that are coming under EDI. So what is electronic data interchange? It refers to the structured transmission of data between organizations by electronic means. So when a data is transferred between organizations through an electronic means, it means electronic data interchange. Okay. So when you come to the features of EDI exchanges structured business information in standard formats between the computers. So the main important feature coming under EDI is that it always exchanges the structured informations alone. It has reduced data entry link, eliminates the need for paper-based system and improved business cycle. So it always eliminates the paper usage and it always helps in transacting business cycle in an easy manner. And EDI transfers structured business documents internally among groups of departments or externally with its suppliers, customers, and subsidiaries. So as I told you, it always has a structured format. Through that structured format, it transfers the documents internally and among the groups of departments. In EDI, information transferred over the network will not have to read, retyped or printed but must have predefined structure. So the main basic or important feature of EDI is that it should always have a predefined structure, which is agreed between two or more companies between whom the informations are get passed. The two companies or groups which exchange information through EDI are called as trading partners. So this is also an important terminology which is used in EDI, that these companies which will pass informations are otherwise called as trading partners. So that is a small feature introduction about EDI.